Hi, in this video we're going to take a look at solving quadratic equations. Let's take our first one. So if we have x plus 2 times x plus 3 equals 0, this is the zero factor property. The zero factor property says that if a times b equals 0, then either a equals 0, b equals 0, or both equal 0. Okay, so this is already factored for us, so we can take each of our factors now and set those equal to 0. And getting x all by itself, we see that x either equals 2 or x equals negative 3. Let's do another one. So if we had x times x plus 1 equals 0, then we set each of our factors equal to 0. And getting x all by itself, we see that x either equals 0 or x equals negative 1. So let's raise the bar just a little bit. Suppose, so if we have x squared minus 9x plus 18 equals 0, so we need to factor 1 times 18. So we want the factors of 18 that have a sum of negative 9. So I'm thinking, how about negative 3 and negative 6? So we're going to use that to split up our middle term. So when we split up our first term here, and go ahead and group it. And we have to put our minus sign out in front of our second set of parentheses, and that's going to necessitate changing our sign on the inside. And we pull out our common factors. So when we get this factored, we're going to see that it factors into x minus 3 times x minus 6. So now we can set each one of those factors equal to 0. And then solve for x. So in this case, x is going to equal 3, and x is going to equal 6. So, how about x squared plus 7x plus 12? Okay. Well, what are the factors of 12 that add up to be 7? Well, how about 4 and 3? So we're going to use 4 and 3 to split up our middle term. Go ahead and group our two sets. And factor out our common factors. Pull out our common factor of x plus 4. And we're going to be leaving behind x plus 3. And we set each one of these factors equal to 0. And we get x all by itself on one side. So we see that x equals negative 4, and x is going to equal negative 3. Okay. So let's do another example. So if we had x squared minus 21x plus 108 equals 0, so we'd be looking for the factors of 108 that add up to be negative 21. So I'm thinking negative 9 and negative 12. Okay, so let's group our first two, and we'll pull out that minus sign for our second parentheses. So now factor out our common factor. Pull out the common factor of x minus 9, and we're left with x minus 12. Set each one of those factors equal to 0. Add 9 to both sides, and we see that x equals 9. And when we add 12 to both sides, we're going to see that x equals 12. So let's do one more. So we want the factors of 150 that add up to be negative 25. So I'm thinking negative 10 and negative 15. So once again we group, and then we're going to factor out our common factor out of each parentheses. So factoring out our common factor of x minus 10, we're left with x minus 15. Set each factor equal to 0. And we're going to get x all by itself on one side. So there we go. So there's a brief look at solving quadratic equations. Thank you for watching.